So welcome guys, and this is going to be the first session, and he is Mr. Dhairya. So just to brief you a bit about him, so he is someone, what you are going to see today is, he is someone who has come from a town, and he has studied in MIT College of Engineering, and then he went to US to complete his masters from New York University. When most of his colleagues and friends were swiping right on Tinder, he decided to come back to India and then start his own business. And here he is today. Today is his birthday. Apart from that, one thing is I have known him from last 25 years. So I know him in and out now. So you feel free to ask any questions if you have. So how we'll go with it today is I'll be asking you a few questions to start with. And then what we'll do is we'll open it for the question answer sessions.
I would love to do that.
Yeah. And if you have any questions from the students, you can ask them as well. So let's keep it as an interactive session.
Okay.
All good? Yeah. So do some of you want to start with any questions, or should I start? Okay. Yeah. So Dhairya, welcome. Formal welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. So how was your childhood? I'll start from basics. How was your childhood?
So like Vishvajit said, so if he did not mention, we've done schooling together.
Yeah.
Since I think mini KG, I guess.
Yeah.
So I am basically from Karad. I belong to a small town, and during my school days, I wasn't so great with the studies. I think my parents were quite supportive of me, not studying and being more interested in the sports. That's when, I felt like, I should be in the sports, section, or, I would want to be a soccer player, which was, just the fad kind of a thing because everyone wanted to play soccer. So yeah, my childhood was just played until I got into 10th standard, when I got a little serious with the studies. I thought I should at least get some good grades to, get into science, because then I realized that I want to do something related to engineering, because I was really great with maths, but not the accounts part. So the engineering maths was something that I was really, really interested in, and that's where, I realized that I should take maths, the PCMC, whatever you guys call. So, I decided to do that, and then I got into engineering. After engineering, I did not know what field I wanted to do in engineering. So I thought electronics and telecommunication was something I decided to get in, which, at the end of it, I developed interest in image processing. That is what, I was working on since 3rd year and 4th year engineering. Yeah, so I think he asked me about childhood, but I am already into engineering now.
So we'll go through that process again. Yeah. So when you were a kid, what did you exactly wanted to do, and as you grow up? So it was soccer player, but you always knew that won't be possible for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah. So what was the next thing you wanted to do?
So after soccer player, I wanted to be a pilot.
Okay.
The next day I wanted to be an architect. So I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do until I started speaking to people about it. What their experience is studying in commerce, their experience is studying in engineering, and that's when I thought that I should go with engineering, learn. So engineering, I would say it teaches you discipline. How you move ahead in your life, rather than I think practical knowledge is much required, which is a little less as compared to my experience in United States. But that gave me a lot of discipline on how do I deal with situations. So that's when engineering, I did my specialization in image processing. That really gave me a good interest. I did my master's in signal processing and engineering from New York University. So yeah, that's it. I mean, that's how I move ahead, and so my journey was.
Yeah. So after engineering, if I'm not wrong, you joined Cognizant.
I did.
Yeah, Cognizant. So I'd ask you some experience from that. So was there anything kind of experience that you had a worst manager or boss, maybe something like that?
I did not wait for so long in that company to have an experience with the worst boss, because when I got into that company. I started working. I got a training of 3.5 months, and I was on a project when after 3 months of project, I realized, this is something that I might not want to do.
Right.
So one fine day, I just called my dad and I was like, I don't want to work here. So then that's when I resigned, and I did not have, in the entire career, I did not have any bad experience or bad boss or a manager.
Okay.
I hardly had. I was like working for like six months in each of the companies, so I just couldn't resist of leaving it.
So, so like just about Cognizant again, I'm just coming to that part again and again. The reason being like many of us are going to join like as employees to some companies.
Yes.
Some are going to start. So, what was your learning out of it? So, doing a job, do you think that before starting up or before starting your own business, do you think that working with someone is good? And what was your learning and what's your experience on it?
So, like I said, experience is, yes, it is important. And it is important only when it is, whatever you are starting up is related to that. If it is completely different, like what I am doing right now, it is completely different from what I have studied or my experience has been.
Right.
So I think, if you think the idea is good, you're passionate about it, I would say idea would be the second priority. But you should be passionate, you should be hardworking, that is what, any idea, and you should be an executioner. So, that is the most important thing. Idea can vary, business models vary. So even with me, I have changed my business models like after 6 months, I felt that this is something that might not work. So, that is what I would want to or, recommend or suggest guys.
Okay. So like now I'll come to your entrepreneur part.
Yes.
So like now you were in New York and you had completed with your studies and everything. So there must have been a moment when you realized that, okay, I want to be an entrepreneur. I just can't go with jobs. So like, did you take up any job in New York?
Yes. After completion of my master's, I was working with a company called Pentech.
Okay.
I was working in product development team, more into software design. So I was involved again in software.
Okay.
So I was working religiously over there. I was given a task to understand their entire code that they developed in 20 years, and they gave me 15 days to figure it out. So I was like, it's going to be impossible, to do it. But I could manage to do it because I did my master's. I had specialization in that subject. So then they started giving me projects. So they gave me deadlines of 3 months. I finished it in 1 month. So that it became a little, sluggish, I would say. Not sluggish, but it was a little slow. It was not challenging for me.
Okay.
Sitting on a desk and working on a software was something that I might not want to do ever. And I wanted something real life challenges like I'm facing today or every day in my startup journey. So that is what, makes me feel or made me feel that day that, this is something that I don't want to do and I just want to finish it off and go back, do something of my own.
But what was that moment like? So was it a happy moment? What is a sad moment? Because you were getting paid well. You were getting paid well, and
I was.
Yeah.
I was.
So like now, what you're paying yourself, it's much less than what you're getting paid there. Yeah. So
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So like, what was that moment? Because you were eventually quitting from everything to start something of your own.
I was scared. Yes. I spoke to my parents about it. That this is something that I might want to do. I want to come back, do something of my own. Didn't know what I wanted to do, but something that might create some value in the society or do something different than just developing software. Yes, developing software is important or it has changed the world, but that is something that it did not interest me so much. But I was scared. I spoke to my parents about it. They were quite supportive about it, so that gave me a boost that if anything goes wrong, my decision might be wrong. It's going to be my decision whether I succeed or fail or whatever. So I would really thank my parents to support me that time, and it was a big step for me leaving 6 figures salary and coming back to India, leaving the visas and whatever prospect things that I could do and coming back to India. It was a tough decision, but yes, I am very happy right now to be over here and working towards my company.
So like one question from the student's perspective I'd ask, like 3 years before when I was sitting there, the only question I had was, if I join a job somewhere, or else if I want to get out of college and start something new, how do I convince my parents? So that is the most important part, because convincing parents, first thing. Second question out of it is, if I'm into some relationship, how to convince that partner?
Wow.
Yeah, again, that is important part. Because
I've had a bad experience with that.
yeah. So I want to know that as well.
So, convincing your parents, I think that, your parents need to be supportive about it. I'm very sure, each parent want to support the kid in some or the other way, because, but for some circumstances, I guess it does not work for you guys. But you need to show your passion about it. You need to show that this is something that I want to do, even if it fails, it does not fail, whatever happens. But you need to have that passion in you, that I want to do this. Or if they say, start working outside, take up a job, but you still need to work on that. You need to be focused. You need to work on that product or the service that you want to provide to the world. I mean, so that is something that, in terms of my parents, I am from a business background, and for me to convince them wasn't so difficult, because being from a business background. So for you guys, I would say, just show them their passion, show them how different, how good you can be at what you would do, and that is what might, convince them. And about the partner, I've already had a bad experience. I might not want to share it.
But any tips? What they should do or they should not do? Any tips on that?
Just give time to your partner. And don't work for 7 days, 12 hours a day. That's what I would say. I mean, you will have to. There is no option for that. Like, I'm working 7 days a week since like last January. Literally, I have not taken a single day off, and I'm just running here and there. I started this journey on my birthday last year. That's what I was just mentioning him. I had my first IT meeting with the team that I'm working with. And today is the day I'm over here. So yeah, I think you need to have that a couple of hours per day, or however your commitments are with your partner, to take forward if you're serious.
Now, I think that helps too many of us. Yeah. So like, now I'll come to Mecanico.
Yes, that's my life.
Yeah. So, how did you come up with the idea of Mecanico?
So, like I mentioned, my family has been in business in various fields actually. One of it is lubricants. So, we are working with a company called Sifrol. And, while I was in the journey of, figuring out what I want to do, Sifrol had a huge project of having retail outlets and providing lubricants and having one-stop solution for a vehicle. I suggested them that, being from a technology background, not really a huge technology software guy, but I was like, let's do something different. That's when Doorstep Mecanico is a doorstep vehicle servicing service provider. And that's when we decided, if we are providing a one-stop solution for car, it's a time where, people want convenience, people want transparency, which is not there right now. And going to a garage, spending weekends over there, whether it's a two-wheeler, four-wheeler, whatever, was something that I myself don't like.
Right.
And we started thinking about it. We started maturing the idea of, is there a possibility where we can come to your place and do the servicing? Like right now, there are hairdressers coming to your home and doing your haircut and everything.
Right.
Why not vehicle servicing?
Right.
That's when we had that thought, that we should start thinking about it. So we took 2 months to mature it properly. We started working on the business plan. That was when February last year, when we thought, let's move ahead with this. We started adding technology. We decided to add technology to it. So we have a mobile application on Android currently. iOS should be there in next two weeks. We have a website where you can do all those bookings and reminders and everything. So yeah. So that's the start of Mecanico, and then we started our operations in June after figuring out the what problems I'm going to face, what things that I need to take care going at the customer's place. If I go there and mess up your place, if I come to your place and I mess it up, it's not going to look good. Rather, the customer is going to be dissatisfied, the people staying around are going to be like, ye kya kar diya?
Right.
That's that kind of a thing. So we had a good plan on how we want to do it. So we started operations in around June kind of thing. Today it's February also. February start. We almost catered to around 1,000 customers.
That's great. That's a good number, I will say.
Yes. So people are wanting that service. People are coming back to us. That is the most important thing for any business, I would say.
Right.
Repeat customers are important. So that is giving me a boost every day to get up in the morning and start working until I just fall off to sleep.
Right. So like, I go back to your idea of Mecanico again. Yeah. So most of us, what we do is every day we come across many apps. We see many problems in the society which are going on, and we come up with ideas that let's do this, let's do that.
Right.
But like, we don't know that exactly how we are going to implement it. So like, any guidelines on those lines? Because as a student, what's important for me and what I know is to start up anything, I just need money. That's the only answer I know. But there are many things apart from money.
Yes.
You need to have a plan, and then people can come in and put in money.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, but how do I test? So, couple of questions here. First is, how do I test my idea?
Right.
And the second is, how I go around it.
So, it completely depends on where you are moving ahead with. If it's a product, you need to have a prototype with you. You need to start working on it. At least, a presentation that can, convince someone. If you can convince your parents, your colleagues, your friends that this is something that I want to work on. And another thing, what I learned, that's what that helped me right now. Being secretive doesn't really help in startup. You need to share, you need to talk about what is going on in your mind. So you need to talk about it. Yes, if it's a product, you need to start building it. Money, I think yes, it is important, but to collect thousands of bucks, around 10-20,000 bucks from your friends and family, taking that loan and building up that thing is, I think, quite possible now.
Right.
I think you guys spend around 10-15,000 a month just to even during your college days. So you need to start building it. You need to start working on it.
Right.
And talk to people like investors. Investors are not going to come to you. They are not. I don't have investment yet. It's all my savings and everything. So, so we started. I would rather telling them that do this, do that. There is no thumb rule.
Yeah.
So you start working on it, and
maybe
things
you can
will
share your example.
So yes. So in terms of Mecanico, we started with a business plan. You can just Google a business canvas. That is something that put and start putting your thoughts on it, and start talking to people. That's what we did. We spoke to like almost 100 people. I was like speaking to almost 7 to 10 people every day to know what exactly will be the issues.
Okay.
And if I am doing servicing, or what do you expect me to provide you when I am at your doorstep.
Right.
So those are the things that you should do. You should start working on it. And I think everything should fall in place. Money, I would say yes, it is important, but on the later stage.
Right. So like, I'll again come to one typical MBA type of question. So like, once you started with your idea, talking to people, how do you decide your target market? So was it something like you planned for it, or you just were randomly talking to people? Because what I have seen, I've met few like the startup guys, what they say is, when you go and share the idea with your family and friends,
correct,
they eventually agree to it.
Correct.
Because they don't want to disappoint you. But how do you choose which people to talk to?
Parents first, friends second, your professors. I think they will help you the best. The MBA professors. I don't have an MBA degree. I have my master's in it, but I think if they have quite a bit of experience where you can go and pitch in your idea and talk to them, they will definitely help you in some or the other way. If not direct, at least indirect, by getting you connects to a few people.
Right.
I'm very sure that is going to be possible with you guys. Right. So that's how you should start. That would be my recommendation. Right.
So like, were you meeting with other startup guys or other people who are entrepreneurs? Were you meeting with them?
I was in Pune after almost 4 years, and pretty much new. I've been in Pune since 2007, but I wasn't there for quite a while over here. So Me coming to Pune and setting up everything was a tough job. I knew very few people. I started with networking sessions. I started talking to those people in those, because there are so many intelligent people. If they are not doing anything, even if they are students, they have such intelligent ideas or the thought process that they go. It's brilliant. So by going to those sessions, I started speaking to them, and that's the thing. I did speak to entrepreneurs. I did speak to prospect people who would want to start up their own thing, who are still working in a company, but they want to do something. So, and people who are successful with 20 years of business, and so I started speaking to those people. That's
So like, so are you the only founder, or do you have a co-founder with you?
I have a co-founder. His name is Avinash Deshmukh.
Okay, Avinash Deshmukh. So like, how did you find Avinash? Because like finding a co-founder is like finding your partner, your life partner. It's as good as that, because you're spending a lot of time with them.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, like I said, initial 2 months where we were, working on the business plan, that is when we started tuning up. Our thought process started matching. The things that I used to think are the things that he used to say.
Okay.
And vice versa. So it was a great tuning since day one. He is a very good friend of my dad, and Sifrol, he's the vice president of that company. So it's a JV that we have. So yeah, that's how I got connected to him. Then we started building up. So when you meet that person, when you sit with them, talk to them for an hour, you know that this is the guy. You know that this will work out.
Right.
It takes years to sometimes know a person, but in this I was fortunate enough that I could work out, I could decide that this is something that I might want to move ahead with, or this is the person that is going to be, I'm going to work with him.
Right.
So that is how was my thing.
That's good.
Yep.
So I'll again come back to Mecanico in the sense like why the name Mecanico? What does it mean exactly?
So in Pune or in Maharashtra, I would say, or anywhere in India, I would say, OA is something that works. Okay. OA Mecanico OA.
Okay.
So that is something that we wanted to show that we are into automobile. We wanted to show that we are in something related to mechanic. Okay. So mechanic was something that we wanted to have, and then we were looking for the last few words, what I want to have. Like, so Mecanico. So that is how.
Okay. The O from OA came here.
Yeah. Okay. So OA came to the. That's how Mecanico was there.
So like, do you think that the name really matters?
It does, if it's big name. It's going to take time to have that brand name. But I think customers or satisfied customers or providing the best possible services or the best possible product in the market is more important than a brand. Definitely, once you start working on that, your brand is going to be a big brand eventually.
Right.
So that's all.
So the next question is something related to funds, what you put in. So like, how did you fund your business? So I think currently it's bootstrap, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like, how did you do that?
So
was it? So I'll just add one more question in it.
Sure.
So was it something like you were planning for the last 3-4 years? You were saving for it, or was it an eventual decision like, okay, I'm starting up now?
So I knew that I wanted to do something of my own, but I didn't know what. So I have definitely since the day I started working or I started doing a job, I had some percentage of my salary saved for in case I don't use it for business, I can use it in some other form, right? So yes, I did have my own personal savings. My family, like I said, supported me a lot since my day of deciding me to coming back to India. Right. So my family is involved in this in terms of finance, and my co-founder Avinash Deshmukh, he convinced, or his family members have invested a little bit. Okay. They trusted us. They trusted the idea. They trusted us rather than the idea that we would take forward this. Right. We would religiously work on this idea and execute it properly. So that's how initial funding was raised. We invested in different areas where we wanted to.
So I'll take you back to some memories like your first sale. So how was your first sale? Because that
It
is
was
very
tough.
very important. Having your first paying customer.
Yes, it was tough. It was tough. Uh,
Can you share that entire story with us?
Oh
the
yes,
entire
yes,
episode?
yes. So I was just talking to, like I said, I went to a networking event.
Right.
That's when I told them that this is something that we are working on and we will start in June. So he was quite curious about the idea. He had very bad experiences with authorized service centers. I don't want to say authorized service, with other service providers. I would say I'm so sorry about it.
Yeah.
So that's when I started speaking to him. I started telling him the things that we would be doing, the things that Mecanico is going to provide: convenience, transparency, advance estimate. At your doorstep, that is the most important thing. When I say convenience, nowadays what's happened that they give you the time and you have to go at that time.
Right.
It's not the other way around. It's not that you have time and you get the service done. So we had these few things that we had to. That's the value proposition that we have, and express service. So we provide maintenance within 90 minutes or 120 minutes based on what vehicle is it.
Right.
Convincing him was difficult. He was like, आप लोग आओगे यहाँ पे, you will mess it up. You will use water. You will spread oil here and there. So to convince them, I told them that just free. It's from us. Don't pay for it. That is what my first customer. I tried to convince him that way. So we have our own SOPs that we follow. Definitely to not spill the oil, we have sheets that are spread like professionally what any service provider would do. The other thing that I would like to mention is we don't use water for cleaning. That gives us an edge over having other customers or other competitors, that when we go to this to customer's doorstep, it does not mess up your space. Right. It's a dry wash that we use that gives you a great shine and everything. I will definitely share all those experiences later, but we started off with that, like I'll give you free service and everything. But it took me almost 3 to 4 weeks to convince him to at least take the free service, because he was not ready to try that at his place. Things that I mentioned. So we went there, we started working on it. He saw our job cards, he saw our procedures, he saw our guys wearing a good t-shirt, a branded Mecanico t-shirt, a cap, shoes, gloves while working on it. He saw that professionalism that we have. It's completely, world class that we try to maintain when we work on it. He was impressed that time itself. These guys are, I think, professional. These guys will take good care of my vehicle. We started working on it. We did all that. And he took a test ride after that, after 2.5 hours. He's like, I need to pay. Okay. I cannot do this for free. And he was so happy. He was so satisfied. And that was my first sale. Almost a month fight, I would say, to get first customer. So since May, I was working on it to get my first customer in June.
So that was a long period, I would say.
It was a long period, yes. But then, since then, through that customer, I got 10 more customers. From those 10, I got 100 more. So that's how I've been multiplying my customers. Providing the best possible service, the best quality service is something that we focus on, right? With convenience and transparency. So yeah, that was my convincing first customer for a month.
So that was a big challenge, I would say.
Oh yes, it was a big challenge for something which is, this service is completely different.
Right.
There are many people working on this currently since last August or something, but we started in January last year. It was completely new. No one knew that there could be something like this. So to process, it was tough for them. So yeah, that's how.
So like when you said about actually you're giving a service at the doorstep and everything, those things. But I remember that like around a year and a half before, there were few startups which came in, like what into similar space. What they did was they used to come to pick up the car from your place. They used to go service it and bring it back. So like they were your direct competitors, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, weren't you scared at that time? Like they are into business now, and they were doing really good at that moment. Right. So like, how was that part? Like,
so like you said, 1.5 years ago, the businesses that are going on right now are the aggregator models.
Right.
So they have 10 garages, they build up a technology platform and then they pick up and drop the vehicles at their customer, at their, this thing, garage and everything. But it does not, give the quality again, because you're again going to the local garage.
Right.
And it's either authorized service center or local garages. Just giving them a technology platform is not going to control the quality.
Right.
So we had a different approach. We decided to do it in front of them.
Okay.
That was the thing. That will give us a transparency. Yes, they claim that they have transparency, they have fixed pricing. Yes, they do.
Right.
But the quality of service is going to be again the same, being at a local garage. It's
Right.
just that they, have a free pickup and drop. In our case, we show everything. Like even the parts that we replace are genuine,
Right.
at actual, and in front of them. We ask them to stay at the vehicle and not go sit at home. We want them to know about the vehicle. We want them to learn about it and experience the servicing in front of them. That is what we did different against those competitors. Yes, we were scared about it because they were already doing good. But quite a few aggregators who started in 2015 are not operational or not functional right now. They shut down just because
Right.
they could not maintain the quality.
Right.
So that is how, and currently it's not a market of monopoly, I would say. There are, in everything that you do, there is going to be 10, 15 people working on it.
Right.
It's just that how you stand out. What different do you provide? Even if it's 1 point, that you do different, perfect, do it. But you have to have that 1 point different, 1 point differentiator in it.
That's a good input for us. Yes. So again, a typical MBA question, I would say. How difficult is it selling a service compared to selling a product?
Wow.
Because I would just add few points to it is like what we have learned is like in case of products you have something tangible and it's easy to sell, but in case of service you're just selling an experience.
Right.
Like how difficult is that and what it was for you?
Like I said, I almost took a month to convince a customer
Right.
for services. Well, it's equivalent, I would say. If the product is not something great or different, people are not going to be convinced. If there are 10, when you get in and if you're doing the same thing, it is not going to, get you that traction that you're expecting.
Right.
In services, again, like I said, there should be a differentiator. If you have all of those things, that if you plan accordingly, I'm very sure that even services can be a great success. So I think product services, it shouldn't be I just want to do a product.
Okay.
It shouldn't be that I am going to only do a product. It can't be a service. Every product is going to have a service later on, right?
Right.
So right now a vehicle is a product. But we are into services. So if not you, there will be someone else who's doing the service.
Exactly.
So
So is it like rather one and the same? It's more about how you sell it.
how you sell it is more important, and how religiously you work towards it, how properly you execute the things that you take care are more important than whether it's a product or a service.
Right. So for us, it's very, very important. Like let's say like 10 out of these people are going to go out and start up.
Right.
But the most important part is building the key relationships, the business relationships. So how do you go around it? Any tips for them?
Just be honest in whatever you do and whatever you speak to people. I think that is the most important thing. I have experienced that, initially not having much experience towards talking to, successful people or, entrepreneurs. I was quite secretive about the idea that I had or what we were working on. But later on I realized, it's not going to help me in any way. Rather, I would be honest with everyone, speak to people, whatever is going on. And I think that is something that is more important. And yeah, do I answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. So just again, who's your role model? And
My
any
role-
reasons behind it?
My role model? I would say my dad and my brother, who are already into business. And my co-founder, yes, he is quite experienced, 20-25 years experience. So these three people, I really feel that I would want to be like them, follow them, know what they do. Because I have family business that's in Karad. but I am completely doing over here single-handedly.
Right.
Co-founder, yes, I do have it, but there are few other commitments that are going on. So I speak to them, I share whatever things are going on. I want to know what were their experiences in some situations.
Right.
I want to be like them. So I would say yes, I pretty homely kind of a person, and family first.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So like, what are your non-work habits that help you with your work-life balance?
Discipline.
Okay.
I get up at 6:30. I have a fixed routine that I do. I follow. I exercise. That gives me, a confidence. I would say, gives me an hour of thinking while I do it. So non-working habits, yes, these, like, I would just say, be disciplined about whatever you do. If you are thinking that, let's not do this today. I don't want to do it today.
Okay.
Don't do that. If you know that you have to do it, you need to do it. Plan for not just for tomorrow, for the month. That is what every entrepreneur would tell you if you're working towards your idea or anything.
Right.
So, like after into this business of Mecanico, I work like for 6 months. I plan for 6 months. I am working towards that. So, you won't get things done by tomorrow. If you start working today, it will be possible. It's possible that it can happen a month later, 2 months later, 6 months later. But that particular day, if you do it properly, in a disciplined manner, I think that is going to give you success and take you forward in your career.
So the takeaway for us is discipline.
Yes.
That's very, very important.
Discipline, yes.
So, now this was your first venture. You know that maybe you must have made some mistakes as well.
A lot.
Yeah. So if you are going to start a new venture, what would be the one thing you would change? I would say rather than change, do differently.
So, I've done a lot of mistakes, yes. Few situations we were not prepared for. In terms of Mecanico, we did quite a lot of homework. I would really say we did a lot of homework. So along with me, the second co-founder, I have an independent director on board with us, who provides us manpower for auto technicians.
Okay.
They run, these things, auto technician training centers.
Okay.
So we did homework while Mecanico. Yes, while we started working on it, the funds that we had, we wanted to, we should have had a good plan for one year, I would say, in terms of how I want to use funds.
Right.
We did a little, mistake in that, on utilizing the funds properly. I think that is something that, I will always remember, and I will always take care of that. When you have funds, I would say I did not have so much funds to, just throw here and there for marketing and anything. But yes, channelizing those funds in a proper way would something that I would take care the next time I start a new venture. And yeah, I think that is the backbone of any business, I would say, funds. And if you run out of funds, then you can't do anything.
Right.
But still, having a good homework is something that that always helps you. That is something I might want to change in how I want to use the funds next time.
So like the planning your funds.
Yes, planning the funds properly.
It's important.
Yes, definitely. I'll definitely share in person. If you want to know more details about Mecanico and my experience so far, like detail, things that have been since a year, I would definitely love to talk to you personally.
Yes, sure. So like one more question from my end is like, so you come from a business background, but this was a venture, like you wanted to start your own and everything.
Right.
So now you have tested a bit of success. I would not say completely successful, right? Or you feel that you are now completely successful?
Not at all.
Yeah. So how does it feel now?
It feels good. It feels like I have achieved something at least, a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, my hard work paid off so far. Like I said, I started off last year, and today I'm sitting over here with you.
Yeah.
That is a great thing that you can call me and
It's a proud feeling for me, like me and us, that you, like on your birthday, you're coming here and spending time with
that's
us.
secondary, I would say, birthday.
Okay.
But yeah, I would, yes, a little bit I would say successful, but I still want to, when I will say I'm successful when I have a good network of Mecanico in Pune or multiple cities that we are working on towards. By December 2017, we want to be in multiple cities. In
Right.
Pune, currently we only have one center. We want to have more centers. So when I go there, when I achieve my target for this year, I think that is when I would like to say that I have achieved that success, or I've achieved that target that I wanted to, and that's when I would say I'm successful.
So I have the last section of it, inspired from Coffee with Karan. We have a rapid fire for you. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. Okay.
So like I won't make it long, so it will be like 4-5 questions.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, do you have a lucky shirt, and why is it that lucky?
Lucky shirt.
Yeah.
I do have it.
You do have?
Yeah. I do have it. I used to. That's. Do I need to give a reason?
Yeah.
Yeah. Since engineering, I have that one shirt that I wear on every important occasions. The last birthday, I was wearing that T-shirt. When I had my first shirt, I would say, I had my first meeting with IT. I do have one T-shirt, the shirt that is very lucky for me, and I do keep it properly.
Wow, that's good. If you could choose a superpower, would you choose the ability to read minds or pour water really fast without spilling a drop?
Wow. Read minds, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what is the record amount of time you have gone without a shower?
Wow. I think I shower every day.
Okay. So, and the next question is, what kind of free gifts you most crave?
Free gifts,
Yeah.
chocolates.
Okay. If you are a new addition to the crayon box, what color you would be and why?
New color,
Yeah.
I think white.
Okay.
Yeah, I think because it's quite plain and simple and transparent, I would say. Yeah.
Okay. So, like the second last question, choose one, Modi or Rahul Gandhi?
Not on the camera. Modi is definitely doing really good job. I would say Modi right now.
Okay. Coffee or beer?
Beer.
Movies or books?
Books, I would say.
Okay. And the last question from my end, if you woke up and had 2,100 emails and you could answer only 300 out of them, how would you choose which ones to answer?
All the customers.
All the customers?
Yeah, I'll just target. We have those filters that we have in the emails. I'm just going to put that filter and reply to all the customers that are there. That is the only thing that I would do. Rather, if there are 2,000 emails of customers, I would reply to all those and make sure that they are satisfied and they are answered properly.
Wow, this is a really good takeaway for us, like concentrating on the customer.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I'll open it up for question and
Experiences our quality of work that we do. So in terms of branding and promotion, we do campaigns at different areas, different societies, and we have to give them. So that is how I do it. We don't. I have a very little budget. I keep really a little budget for marketing. I believe in more networking and referral. Experience that you will tell 10 other people, and that is how I've been growing. That is how it's multiplying for me. So branding and marketing